I don't know why I do this to myself. I do this for you guys. I cannot look down, but we're at the top of Castle Rock.
Welcome back to Love Nesters and the 7th episode of our Lake Michigan Shoreline series.
This time we're driving through the Upper Peninsula, where stunning natural beauty meets unique attractions.
Join us as we tour a vintage Snowmobile Museum and marvel at an incredible natural spring.
I'm driving!
But that's not all. There's a troll hidden in the woods, just waiting to be discovered.
Thanks for joining us on another Love Nester adventure. Welcome back to Love Nesters. We are in the UP of Michigan.
And today we'll be traveling on the west coast of Lake Michigan.
What?
Headed towards Wisconsin. And we're gonna get the day started at this iconic St. Ignace location, Castle Rock.
Castle Rock. Thanks for being here.
We are hiking up to Castle Rock. It is 200 feet above sea level. It is a giant sea stack.
Okay, this is Castle Rock, a famous tourist destination.
Okay, I need to not look down. Oh, the midges are up here, and we are way up here. Oh, why do I do this to myself?
Oh my goodness, look at this.
Hey, welcome back to Love Nesters. We did it. We're at the top of Castle Rock. I'm freaking out.
Thanks for being here. This is a great place to stop. It's just a few miles north of St. Ignace, so it's a great climb, great gift shop. Thanks for being here.
I'm going down, Jeff. Bye. Okay, I have to say, this is the part I like the least. I think I'll feel a lot better when I'm back on land. Oh, I am such a baby.
We headed into the gift shop to talk with a member of the family that has owned and operated this attraction since 1928.
All kinds of goodies for the kids.
My grandfather bought the property here in 1929. There was just a little roadside resort here that had a few cabins and a foot trail up around back, but there was not the walkway that goes from the land to the top of the rock. He built that. Been in my family since then. We have about 75 to 80,000 people pay to climb up Castle Rock.
This is the North Country National Scenic Trail. It is actually considered the longest footpath in the whole United States. Goes right through St. Ignace. 4,600 mile North Country Trail.
There's a lovely boardwalk downtown St. Ignace that takes you out. I think this is a pier light or lighthouse of some sort. You see these black things flying around. These are the midges, and just depending on when you come in the springtime, there can be these hatches of these little bugs like gnats. They don't bite, but they get in your nose and your eyes, and we've been lucky. They haven't been bad this trip, but this is the worst we've seen them. They're just swarming everywhere. That fog you see? That's all. Oh my gosh, these midges. I'm breathing through my hand just so I'm not inhaling them as I'm walking out here.
You wouldn't believe. Look at this. Oh my gosh. There's these things called midges. I mean, they are so thick. You wouldn't believe how thick they are. But they don't bite, but they just fly into your eye. And there's like a 2-week period. And it's been great so far because it's been windy. So we haven't had to deal with them. This is the first time we've had to deal with them.
So this is a vintage snowmobile museum. They have some really neat events in the winter where you can see these running. But for now, this is heaven for Jeff, and we are going to learn all about these rare machines.
Hey, welcome back to LoveNesters. We are in Naubinway, Michigan at the top of the lake Snowmobile Museum. It's one of the largest snowmobile museums in all of North America, and I'm walking down memory lane, so thanks for coming along. I'm gonna point out some snowmobiles to you that I own one of these brands, a lot of these brands growing up. But when I had a snowmobile, it was only $100 to get a snowmobile. Rupp has a very dedicated following, and I had a Rupp Sport, but this is a 1967 Rupp Sport. I think mine was a 75 Rupp Sport. But Rupp didn't last very long, but they're beautiful, and we've seen some great Rupps that have been restored. This is beautiful. Suzuki. Can you believe Suzuki made a snowmobile? This is 1973. The Snow Bunny, made in Marshfield, Wisconsin. In the 60s and early 70s, everybody and their brother dipped their toe into the snowmobile market. And this museum highlights a lot of that. So you're gonna find snowmobiles that you never heard of. For example, the wheel horse, the garden tractor, thought they would make, oh, well, and look at it, it kind of looks like a garden tractor snowmobile.
Actually made in Iowa. Has a Kohler motor in it.
You're going to point out a couple of your favorite snowmobiles. You said they're all your favorite, but we're going to show some really very rare snowmobiles here.
Okay, yes.
Including the Honda.
And some you're only going to see here. Everybody knows Honda and snowmobiles. While in 1973, Honda had been experimenting with Raider and a few other companies buying their sled, putting their motor on it. They had been experimenting quite a few years. Well, they finally came up with their own, and this is what it came up called. It's called the Honda White Fox. They built 200 machines. They put them out in their dealer network, majority of them in Michigan and Wisconsin. Story is somebody was killed on one, so they recalled them and crushed them. And we know of probably 4 that are still out there, 4. So this is a very unique sled too.
So if you think you know a lot about vintage snowmobiles, like I once did, step into this snowmobile museum because there are more machines than I ever realized, and they have them here, right here.
This is a Sears. This one was made by OMC, and then Sears also, Scorpion also made them for Sears. There were turquoise. We have one in the back here.
The Fin Cat.
The Fin Cat, another one that didn't make it. The story is, Michigan Tech, Houghton Tech up in the Upper Peninsula.
Sure.
Our military sent 8 or 10 machines up to Houghton Tech to be tested for our military, and they didn't work. The guys tell me that 1 or 2 of them actually caught fire and burnt. I mean, not burnt the motors up, burnt the sled up, because they were supposed to go in the water, the mud, the snow. But you don't see the motor until you open this up here. The motor is under here, so you can imagine, can you imagine the overheating? It didn't get enough air, and you're working the heck out of it. It did actually get so hot they would catch fire.
Both of us are having so much fun here at the top of the Lake Snowmobile Museum. What a treat to get to ride on some of these machines. Just be sure you check with management or staff here before you do so.
And if you like this video, it would be great if you could like and subscribe. We would really appreciate it.
Thanks for being here.
This is a sled that we made sure we always had extra rope in our sleds to tow this exact sled around.
Go easy on the ski rope,
and look, and this is why. Look at the price. So this sold for $1,145, which was dirt cheap, right?
Even then.
That's why. Oh, here we go. Sears, 1966. Sears, you can get it through the catalog. So if you're driving down Highway 2 in Michigan, you have to stop at Top of the Lake Snowmobile Museum and say hi to Charlie. He's going to give you a great behind-the-scenes tour of this spectacular place.
And here we are sitting in a love bug.
Yes, a love bug. Love birds and a love bug. That snow bug was made in Sudbury, Ontario, and the 2-seaters were called Love Bug.
Before leaving Naubinway, we headed over to Lake Michigan to see its northernmost point.
The northernmost point of Lake Michigan, right here.
I am so excited. I have been wanting to see a Thomas Dambo Troll in forever. If you don't know about this artist, he's from Denmark. He uses recycled materials, and he comes in and he makes these art installations that are trolls, and they're all kind of themed to the location in which they're located. And we are going to see Benny the Beard Fisher.
Benny is part of a 10 troll storyline. Thomas Dambo came to the United States last summer, and he began from the East Coast, rented a big RV, and traveled his way through the United States. So we were the third stop way of the Bird King storyline. And so we have his books here. These are all the children's books that were published just recently. Benny's of course a character in the book. Apparently he's a good guy. So
oh, that's so
they're
cool.
not all good. Not all the trolls are good guys. So Benny's our sweetheart.
There he is. So Thomas Dambo has done over 100 trolls. This is number 118, Benny the Beard Fisher.
Thomas Dambo, a Danish artist. Jeg har det dansk. This is his only wooden sculpture in the UP of Michigan. It's in a campground in a park, and the owners of the campground are just wonderful people.
So Thomas is known for deciding what to build based on the location, and his troll just fits in perfectly here.
It is less than a half-a-mile walk to see the troll, and the cost is about $10 per carload. Be sure and look at the website linked in the description to secure your time slot.
So Kitch-iti-Kipi, and I'm sorry guys if I'm saying it wrong, is actually in a state park. There are very nice restrooms here as well as a gift shop. Walk into the spring is very easy. It's less than a quarter of a mile. And it's a boardwalk and it's no steps.
Thank you, thank you.
Push down on the small lever. Push down. Push the big lever on top all the way to the... So we are at Kitch-iti-Kipi Springs. It's 40 feet deep. This is the largest freshwater spring in Michigan.
Are we moving?
Yeah, we are.
4 people.
What?
Here comes 4 people.
Well, you want to move a little faster? Yes, it took us too long to figure out how to make that go. Woo!
Oh, okay. There's a plaque right here. Kitch-iti-Kipi.
Kitch-iti-Kipi. Kitch-iti-Kipi.
The big spring.
Yes.
The spring is 45 feet deep.
It never freezes in the winter and it's a constant, what, 45 degrees?
10,000 gallons a minute. And sometimes there's an odor that can be a high sulfate content. If you're wondering.
That's not you?
She's quick.
Yeah, you gotta be under the sheet.
But this is so beautiful.
If you like abandoned villages, communities, this is the place. Fayette State Park. The future once seemed so bright here, and they just got up and left. And left the buildings empty. What an incredible story.
Fayette was once a bustling industrial community that manufactured pig iron from 1867 to 1891. The town was abandoned in 1891, leaving behind buildings over 150 years old. You can explore these historic structures along with the park's 5 miles of trails and learn about life here in the 19th century.
This is a reconstruction of a laborer's cabin. All the original ones did not survive. See the root cellar? Most of the people that lived here worked at the, they were unskilled laborers at the furnaces and charcoal kilns. They paid about $1.50 a day. So this was the company pay office. The average monthly payroll was $5,826 that would have been divided out against 153 employees. This would have been the machine shop. Oh, it's a neat old building in here. And they have everything set up in here for self-guided tours, so you can learn all about what they did here. So this is what it looked like, the company store. And now I'll show you what it looks like now.
So this was why they built this town. It seemed to be a perfect location. It had a natural bay here right on Lake Michigan. They built this huge town and it did not survive. There's plenty of ghost stories in this town. We are at Fayette State Park in Michigan.
This is supposed to be an abandoned town, and I think if we were here at a different time when the construction equipment wasn't here, you might feel really at peace here exploring these buildings on your own.
It's a bit noisy, but I think you could still appreciate what happened here. It's just not as peaceful as you'd want it to be.
Well, this is the barber. This is where you'd go to get your hair cut. This would have been the butcher shop. This exhibit is dedicated to the kids. What would life have been like 100 years ago? So they were playing checkers. Some of the kinds of clothes they would have worn. Oh gosh, if that's how small a one-room schoolhouse was, that's tiny. This would have been a middle-class home. Fayette's store would have actually brought things in from Marshall Fields for people to purchase. Office workers, foremen, and skilled tradesmen would have lived in places like this. They would have earned $50 to $100 per month, and they would have paid about $5 a month to rent a home like this. Scattered throughout this site, you do have true ruins. You do have just the footprint of buildings that were once here. Where they know what was here, they have labeled them, but some of them are just vacant like this. So this section was the middle class homes in this area. So the further you get back into this park, the more peaceful it is. It would be a great place to have a picnic. What would you say, honey? An hour, 2 hour stop max?
Probably an hour and a half. How's that?
Yeah, depending on how into history you are.
You're going to find a lot of abandoned buildings, and it's interesting to see the structures and the community itself.
Yeah, and it's a very peaceful place. So just the walk alone probably makes it worth it.
Yes.
This is the Gladstone Lighthouse. This was built in 2010, making it one of the newest lighthouses on Lake Michigan. There are nice bathrooms at this restroom, super easy to walk out to, paved trail, no steps. I have been wanting these all day, and we finally found a pasty place.
And this was actually voted the best pasty 15 years in a row in Escanaba.
This is Graham's Pasties. Now, we got two different kinds. We got what I would consider the traditional, which is beef, carrot, rutabaga. And then we also got a chicken broccoli cheese, which I've never tried before. Jeff's showing you the shape of these is a little different than what we're used to, but these are kind of a meat pie. They're super hot. This is what the miners used to have. And this is why you come to Michigan.
This is why.
Thank you so much for coming along on our series going around Lake Michigan.
It has been fabulous. Michigan has the best beaches in the world. Truly an incredible visit for us, and thanks for coming along.
If you want more content, check out our Lake Superior Circle Tour series that also includes more of the UP.
And more pasties.
It does. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for being here.